Welcome back, everybody, to the Omniverse Comics Guide podcast. We are your Omniverse Comics Guide guys. I'm Eric. That's my pal Dave.
Hello.
Dave, what's on your mind today?
What's
Oh,
on my
hello.
mind? My
Pope Dave, speak to us.
I have been the Pope at a gig previously. That's what I dressed up as. This
I
was
believe it.
made by my daughter Lexitron. She's 7 years old, and she said you have to wear it next time you do the podcast. I wear it for you. So it's a crown, and it says King Omniverse Dave Molyneux. So I guess
You
you're
are the
my
king of
court jester.
You are the king,
or my
yeah.
queen. I'm not sure which. You choose.
Either or. Yeah, you're definitely the king of the Omniverse. I'll be.
I don't know about that.
Can I be a duke? Give me a duke.
A kick-ass duke will lead us to kings.
Right?
Will lead
Yeah.
us to kings.
I don't know if I want to be the queen, but
Get better outfits,
yeah, that's
according
true.
to Priscilla.
You're definitely the court jester of this.
Yes,
kingdom,
I'm no
bud.
king.
You're king and court jester. That's for sure.
I'm the bastard king.
I'm a loyal subject.
You're
and
more
host.
than that.
Everybody watching on Twitch, thank you for the usual suspects who show up. We always appreciate your support and your comments during the show. Everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for joining us for another incoming. It's already June. We're talking about June. I'm losing track.
I know.
I know it's going fast.
Mid-year.
So-
Jeez. Hello.
Everybody watching us, smile on our face. We're not upset that it's already halfway through the year. Hit that rate and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. If you leave a comment and share the podcast with anybody you know who likes comics or wants to know which comic books to read. And of course, the one-stop shop is omniversecomics.guide. That's where you're going to find all of our podcast archives, our interviews, collector item specials, our reading orders, which are what? Second to none.
Second to
Because
none.
Because Dave is the best and the most meticulous at making comic book reading orders. Check us out.
I heard
Omniverse.
anal in there, but I'll take the actual words that you did say.
You know. Omniversecomics.guide. That is your back door to reading orders. Sneaky back door to reading orders.
Backstage entrance to reading
That's
orders.
right. Exactly. VIP entrance. Okay.
Just for birthday.
Incoming.
Yeah, incoming.
I did a theme.
Oh, you cheeky little themes. What's your theme? Tell me.
I went Matt Murdock with this one. Going in blind.
Going in blind the whole way
Yes.
through.
Meaning, I don't
Read
think.
nothing already that's
I've
on
read-
the list.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh.
There's one or two things that I may have pre-ordered, but I can't really be an expert in the things that I'm actually interested in. So, we'll see what happens. I hope I don't steer anybody wrong. But this is just my going through the catalog like a kid and wondering, what do I want?
That's the best
this
way
is.
to do it.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Or what I want to tell my friends about. Hey, buy that. Get that thing. It's really good.
And then lend it to me.
Yeah. Well, I usually
No,
already
you've
own
already
it.
got it.
All right. Going in blind, but this piqued my interest. This is a Marvel Epic Collection. Silver Surfer. It is George Perez
It is.
collection. Into the Outer Void. It collects issues 111 to 122. It also has Silver Surfer Dangerous Artifacts and Silver Surfer Ashcan #1. So it's volume 12 because I own volume 13, which was the J.M. DeMatteis era
Yes.
of Silver Surfer. So this buttons up to that. Now, I never knew that George Perez had a little stint on Silver Surfer. I wasn't aware of it. I'm not sure if it was any good, but I like the Silver Surfer a lot.
There's a
And
big
I love George
revelation in
Perez. Okay. So, it 448 pages. Still pretty good value for that many comics in it. I mean, George Perez, why not take a look at his Silver Surfer?
But it's just his writing, not his art.
Okay, that is very good to let us in on. That's why I went in blind on this one. So Scott Eaton is the artist, or is it a variety of artists on this one?
I think it's a variety. To be fair, this is a run I would like to read as well, because I've only read bits of it, but Janice Bell is in it. So you do get some of your other cosmic characters.
just the same. George Perez is a storied creator. I always elevate his artistry above his writing skills, but that's because he was George Perez, the, master illustrator. But he's been known to have long runs and plotting and storytelling with Teen Titans and Wonder Woman and the like. So I'd be interested in his take on Silver Surfer.
And it's the first time they've collected these issues.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's always exciting.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a reprint.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Screw you, reprints. I'm gonna go to the DC universe for my
Yeah.
first choice, and it is literally in the title: the DC Universe by Steve Ditko, Omnibus, oversized hardcover, as they always tend to be. It's by Steve Ditko, mate. This book, seriously, man, this is big. It's 1,264 pages, and you get stories from. Get ready. Detective Comics, Legends of the DC Universe, Tales of the New Gods, House of Secrets, World's Finest Comics, Adventure Comics, Showcase, Superman, House of Mystery, First Issue Special, Beware the Creeper, Cancel Comics Cavalcade, Strange Adventures, Legion of Superheroes, Shade the Changing Man, Plop, Weird War Tales, Secrets of Haunted House, The Unexpected, Ghosts, Mystery in Space, Time Walk, Stalker, Amazing World of DC Comics, The Outsiders, Hawk and Dove, and Man Bat. Otherwise, not much there really. But you can tell from that you're going to get a sprinkling of things here and there. So he created Shade the Changing Man, the original, in the 70s. That was one of my first ever comics. So I'm actually going to find out what issue was probably my first comic book. My first actual American comic. I mentioned last week, like Amazing Spider-Man 316, when I went and bought one. But I went to a train station when I was a kid, and my dad will take you on a train journey, because it's one of those things you do in the late 70s. Nothing else to do. Go on a train journey? Yeah, why not? So he bought us each like a comic or something, and I got this thing, and I remember the visuals from it, and I found out years later it's from Shade the Changing Man. So that might well have been my very first American comic book. But you didn't really see them around otherwise. So otherwise it's like a lot of random stories and one-off stories like sci-fi and horror stuff from Mystery in Space and Time Warp and House of Secrets and those kind of books. So it's going to be a real mix of stuff. But there's something...
Do you like that? The mix of...
Yeah, I like the mix because otherwise, it gives you a chance to read stuff you may not do. A while ago, they said they were going to release Time Warp, the 8-issue 70s series, as a book, as a collected edition. I think it was supposed to be deluxe, and then they just pulled it. So these are only the Ditko stories from that series. But I really want to read it because it was all stuff that doesn't tie into DC when they were being a bit more experimental. And you get stories by big name creators. Like all the covers are by Mike Kaluta, and they look just amazing. And I desperately want them to release that. But yeah, this is a chance just to get some really random stuff. And I love the randomness of 70s DC. And it might well have been the around the time that they imploded, but it doesn't mean they weren't putting out interesting ideas. Almost feels like a lot of those kind of books are their pre Vertigo.
Very cool. I like it. Wasn't on my radar, so I appreciate you throwing those ones out there and kind of piquing my interest.
It's my pleasure, mate.
All right. Number 2 for me. I'm gonna go with one that I've pre-ordered. So I've committed to getting this book and at least reading it once. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've tried to read it digitally when there was a sale. I said, you know what? I've heard nothing but good things about this series, so I'll give it a try. It's Kieran Gillen, The Wicked and the Divine Compendium. This comes out June 10th. It was on sale for a steal when it was listed. Like, I want to say almost like $20 was what it was listed as like a pre-sale. So I just said, why not? I could get the entire series for almost what feels like an error.
Yeah.
Like they probably made a mistake
It might
listing
be.
it at that
Yeah.
price. But it's coming. So I was kind of lukewarm about it because it felt like one of those books when I first read it, kind of like East of West. The people who love it, they swear by it. It's the greatest thing of all time. So you go into it sometimes with those expectations, but it's like, oh, this is a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah.
Either you get it or you don't. So I'm going to try to read the whole thing and really give it a fair shake.
I think
Can't go
you're
wrong for the
going in the
price.
right way.
Yeah.
Unlike what
Did
we
you
were saying
read?
before. Yeah, well, I got so far and I just couldn't bear it anymore.
Yeah, and again, that's part
It's
of
Gillen. I just don't like Gillen at all.
yeah, yeah, and I feel that way for some writers too. It's nothing that you're not wrong for liking them. I just can't see what it is. So why am I going to waste my time there?
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. Give it a go, and it's a really like the art is incredible. Jamie McKelvey's art is stunning.
So yeah, The Wicked and the Divine. This collects. The art does look incredible.
It is.
1,448 pages. It's the complete story in one binge-ready volume. Give it a shot. I'll be there for a while. That's for sure.
Okay,
Take it away, Dave. Take it away.
my tooth is from Marvel. It's my only Marvel choice, and it's a surprise one for me. So it's Alien Galaxy of Nightmares trade paperback by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Salvador LaRocca and others. It collects the Alien 2021 series, 12 issues that ran 4, and the follow-up series that ran for 6 issues, plus the annual. And if I'm completely honest, I probably wouldn't be interested if not for PKJ. Because
Yeah.
that's the sell for me. You know, I think like I mean I haven't read any of his Marvel stuff, but this isn't really Marvel stuff, is it? It's Alien, so
Right.
I'm hoping it doesn't hold back because again, like Marvel, when they've come close to doing mature readers books over the years, they kind of dip their toe in and then dry it off really quick and just pretend none of it ever happened. But I've heard good things about that Alien series. It's probably because of Kennedy Johnson. It's 456 pages and it is out on June 3rd. So that's a nice little chunky chunks of xenomorphic glory. Ooh, that's what I wake up with some mornings.
Of course you do. Of course you do. All right, all right, all right. Blind Buy. Surprisingly, I didn't read the entirety of this run, and it might be because it wasn't the best part of that era. But this is, I'm not sure if this is a re-release. Don't think it is. Batman Detective Comics, the New 52 Omnibus, Volume
No.
1.
Yeah, it's the first time they've done it this way.
Yes. So this collects, from what I remember, Tony S. Daniel had the book at the beginning, and I remember reading the first 8 issues of this, and it does play a part in a major character's transformation. Like this is, I think, the story that
In issue
you would,
1.
yeah. So it's found here in this collection. So if we were doing a Dave reading order and you wanted to know where something happened to a character, you'd want to begin with this series. Would fill you in on those details.
Oh. What
If you find this for a good price, I would give it a read. I would pick it up. I'm not sure if I'll invest in the full price of it because there's other stuff from that era of Batman that is pretty strong, but I'm willing to give this a second read because I didn't complete it. So let's see where it goes.
what
Hopefully it
issues are
holds
in
up.
it?
So it's issues 0 to 26 and Detective Comics annuals 1 and 2.
Okay.
Uh,
Does that
this
include the
acclaimed
decimal
run, that's what it
issues?
says.
Yeah, they might be pushing it a bit. It's got some interesting bits in it, and if you're a Batman completist, it's worth picking up because you also get your tie-ins to the deaths in the family. What was it called?
Death of the
Death
Family, I
of the
think, as well as
Family.
Court
Yeah,
of
you're
Court of
right.
Owls tie into everything.
Yeah, it's an odd book, but it's probably worth a little look. Volume 2, I reckon, is probably going to be stronger. And if you're a completist, you're probably going to want to pick this up to get Volume 2.
I don't remember how Volume 2 ends in the New 52 or who was working on it, but I did enjoy at least the artwork of the Francis Manapul run. Like it was a lot of fun. I
Volume
remember it
2
coming out.
would end with Gordon as the Batman in his bunny rabbit thing. So there is some interest because that's part of
But
that.
that's from the Batman. But they would include that in this too, eh? That's from the Batman run.
But he's in
No, isn't
both.
it?
He's in both. It's in
Ugh.
both titles. He's Batman in both those titles.
Yeah.
Pick up Detective Comics Omnibus, kids.
Don't complete. No. Check it out. Listen, it's being released. Like I said, blind buy. Not really sure how it holds up, but I'm willing to check it out for the right price.
All right, because it's only been a couple of weeks since I've done one, it shouldn't be too long. But still, strap on. New to the Omniverse, we have the original Vril docs getting the spotlight in our Brainiac reading order from 1958 to present. Events and crossovers for Marvel. 1993's Infinity Crusade wraps up the original Infinity trilogy, and it's all broken down, it's all in order. with all the fallout you need to know what to pick up next. DC Comics, Superman stars in the frankly bizarre one-man JLA Secret Origins from 1999. And let's see what's in podcast and video. Well, you can find out what we're most looking forward to with our May 2025 incoming collector editions episode, and get some old school web slinger story recommendations with our top 10 80s Spider-Man episode. And finally, background reading. If you want to know what to read before Spider Island, then look at What to Read Before Spider Island. I couldn't have made it easier for you, mate. You'll also find the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Book of the Dead, Where Are They Now? Entries, which begin with Airwalker and the Ancient one to kick us off. So that was previously a subscriber exclusive, and now it's available to all. And so was our Who's Who Surviving the DC Universe feature, which starts with entries for Abel of the House of Mystery, as well as an entry for, oh, bear with me, Abner Zagar, I can do this, Abner Zagar, Wrath, and Ghast, who are the Demons 3, who are old Justice League villains.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Can you say it one more time? I missed that.
Mother flipper. Abner Zagar.
Were you saying someone's... Sorry, say it again.
Abner Zagar, Wrath, and Ghast.
You're passing gas.
Yes.
Nice. Very nice. As always, check out those reading orders. Second to none. Dave, you're number 3.
Well, hello, number 3. What are you? Look, you're a pretty boy. That's right, your Superman Adventures Compendium 1 trade paperback.
What?
Oh, yeah. Check it. We were wanting this for a while. This has been on some of our lists. And now you can get the compendium of Superman Adventures by Paul Dini, Mark Miller, Scott McCloud, Rich Birchett, and others. It collects Superman Adventures 1 to 29, Superman Adventures Annual 1, Batman and
I've
Superman.
never seen this.
I'm talking Batman and Superman Adventures, World's Finest number 1, and Superman Adventures Special, which is Superman Lobo, Misery in Space. It's 928 pages, and it's out in June on the 17th. I thought that might make you happy, but I had a weird feeling you might not have seen it.
Not at all. This is cool.
That's
I
such
like
a
it.
win, right?
Such a win.
So that should be
That's a
2
great-
books.
Awesome. That's very cool, because I've heard very good things about these stories, that they've got a charm to them, like just a
Yeah.
classic comic book charm that's timeless, you know, and you can't go wrong with sometimes just good old 1-2 issue stories, or like a cartoon episode.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to fit in and around the animated series, but if you haven't watched the animated series, it also doesn't matter. We included one of the stories in our top 10 Mark Miller episode,
Yes, you did.
and this is where Mark Miller kind of made his name. And I know he might be pretty renowned for shocking comics these days, but these were not shocking comics. These are just really well told stories. I mean, before that, he was doing Sonic the Hedgehog, and so this was like his next book as a step up, and I believe he won awards for it.
I almost gave it away. I don't know if I should spoil it. It's
What?
done now. I could say it. The guest that we had actually was talking about these very stories that you're mentioning.
No way.
Yeah, it was brought up, and I did the slip of the tongue of saying Mark Millar instead of
Did you have
Miller.
to drink?
I did. Or I gave a wink to the camera so everyone knows that I realized what I did.
I'll make
So if you
sure I
watch
keep that wink in.
episode, yeah, I mean, I look extremely tired, but I was having a great time. I hope everyone enjoys it when we release it.
No
Anyways,
doubt. Your
great
interview's
pick.
always a winner, man. Just look at
Sorry
the
for
numbers.
interrupting you during. Pardon?
Sorry, I could see you losing your mind.
Yeah, no, I was like, I didn't even know this was happening, and how could I have missed it? Thank you for sharing it. That's great.
That's
That
cool.
guy genuinely got me like, that's crazy.
It's great to bring good news. This is really good. I'm
Yes.
probably more excited about that book than any other in June.
My number 4?
Yarp.
All right. I am going to go with, how did they title it here? I want to say it because it's cute. Stray Dogs, the Omnibite edition. Good cover price, pretty good page count, 275 pages. It collects Stray Dogs 1 to 5, Stray Dogs Free Comic Book Day issue, and Stray Dogs Dog Days 1 and 2. It kind of looks, from the artwork that's previewed, kind of like Disney animation style. I'm a fan of dogs. I own a dog. I love coming home to the dog, but this is described as a heartbreakingly adorable suspense thriller. Stray Dogs. In this suspenseful series, readers meet Sophie, a dog who can't remember what happened. She doesn't know how she ended up in this house. She doesn't recognize any of these other dogs. She knows something terrible happened, but she just can't recall. Wait, where's her lady? It's all coming back to her now, and it's enough to raise Sophie's hackles. I want to know why Sophie's hackles are raised. Now Sophie has to figure out where she is, what's happening, and how she's going to survive this. So, yeah, it's the what's the term there? Heartbreakingly part is making me a little trepidatious to read it, but also there's adorable suspense. So it may bring you
Yeah,
back.
I think it's like if you imagine Disney. Not, I'm trying to think who you compare it to, like as like an adult thing, but I can't think of something. But it's like it's quite a dark Disney aimed at adults vibe.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. Oh, let me
Yeah.
give proper respect to the people listed. Tony Fleeks, Trish Frostner, and Brad Simpson are the illustrators on this. Tony Fleeks. Better not
Yes.
make me cry, Tony.
Don't make him cry, Tony, or I'll have words, mate.
That's right.
We'll send the boys from
That's
the
my
chat round.
yeah. And they're global. We got an
Hmm.
international connection.
We're a syndicate
Australia.
now.
Yeah, Australia to North America through Europe. Some in Asia, believe it or not. Take it away, Dave, number 4. Before I say
Okay.
something ridiculous.
My number 4 is a surprise to me. So it's written by Joshua Williamson, which is one reason why it's a surprise to me. But it's Codename G.I. Joe Deluxe Edition, Book 1. I had no intention of ordering the Transformers Deluxe Edition, but I think this is where my affection for G.I. Joe comes out. Like when I see G.I. Joe in a thing, I'm like, I've got to have it. And I always think I love Transformers more, and I probably do. But there's still something about the Joes ever since I was a kid. I've always loved it. It's kind of like if you made the army superheroes, because they've all got funny little code names. They've all got their little speciality. There's a bloke that has a parrot and he dresses like an old school sailor. There's one that's just in like kung fu outfit, like a kung fu outfit with a shirt off, called Quick Kick. I mean, that's one of the crappiest names for anything you've ever heard. But I love it. And like Snake Eyes is still to this day one of the coolest characters I've ever seen in my
That's true.
entire life.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I kept my Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow figures when I sold all my G.I. Joes, regrettably. Why did I do it? I actually don't know. But I loved my Joes. I had tons of them. Before they were G.I. Joe over here, they were Action Force, because G.I. Joe is very American sounding.
American. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was like, the theme tune to the film changed. So it was Action Force, International Heroes, but they've all got American accents. Action Force are there. Action Force was there. It was quite something.
That's such a funny remix to the original
I
song.
know, it's weird, right? And then when you watch it now, I tried to watch it with my daughter, but it was the G.I. Joe version, and I'm going, this sounds weird. And now she knows why I shout Cobra la 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 randomly at things. Don't. Why do I do it? It was Cobra La. It's one of the worst names for anything ever. Still, I love G.I. Joe. Clearly, the art is by Tom Riley, Andrea Milano, and Geordie Belair. It collects Duke numbers 1 to 5, starring one of their dullest characters. But apparently, this series is quite good. Cobra Commander, gotta love him. Voice of Starscream as well. Ooh, how does that work? But that's 1 to 5, and then part of the Energon Universe 2024 special. It's 256 pages, oversized hardcover. It's out on June the 24th. And yeah, Codename G.I. Joe rather than just G.I. Joe, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why. That just intrigues me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead with Transformers Compendium Volume 1, Bob Budiansky, the Marvel stuff that was closely associated with the toy line and the cartoon and all of that Transformers lore. A lot of the stuff was built from here. Bob Budiansky gets a lot of credit for Transformers mythology, with Jim Shooter kind of giving him a little, do this, a little bit of this, go for it. If you want to listen in our archives to the Jim Shooter interview, it's a good one. But Dave, you're the Transformer guy here. I know
Hi.
that you've got your favorite Transformer series here and there, that not all of them are equal. But what would you say about this one as a guy like myself going in blind on it?
Going in blind, don't expect a lot. I think the thing that will be good is the really good stuff. So there's likely to be 2 compendiums for this, and then they should be following it up with 2 compendiums of the Marvel UK run, and then the 2 slot together.
Okay.
So you can just read the Marvel US stuff, or you can read it with the whole lot combined. For anyone that wants to do that, I am obviously I'm going to do a reading order because I friggin' love Transformers, and I'm from the UK. Oh, perfectly
Hey,
placed.
how the hell are ya?
But they've just finished a quick starter, a quick starter, a Kickstarter on Quickstarter, and there were a few different versions of a box set of those four compendiums together. And you could either get like the
Oh,
Decepticon set or the Autobot set, and you could get volumes 1 and 2 of the US, volumes 1 and 2 of the UK in either red or purple. There was also an option to have the combined version, so it's the whole lot with the Marvel UK and Marvel US integrated as it was when I was a kid, but over the four compendiums, which is just like, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, hello.
you gave it the hey, how are ya? You're
Oh, I
coming home with
did.
me.
Oh, yeah, I had a proper chest burster moment then.
I'm not 100% sure how committed I'll be to this, but it does, if I see it for sale, it does grab my attention because it is a sizable chunk of comics that you get all there. So you'll know what you're kind of in for.
Yeah.
So I'm interested.
If you like
Go along
80s
with the
cheese,
schedule.
dude,
I
it's
do.
super
I
cheesy.
like
It's funny and weird, but it's not always doing it on purpose. And it just ends
that's
up being
okay.
that way. So if you like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you may well get off on it. Not in a
A
dodgy
good
way.
old cheddar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Why
But
not,
where can
right?
you go wrong? And then by the end of it as well, towards the end of the second compendium, Simon Furman, who was the Marvel UK writer, jumps over to America when Bob Budiansky left the title. So he wraps it up. And then that comes up with all sorts of time travel shenanigans and stuff. I love it in my own way, but I also do recognize that it's not necessarily the best stuff you'll ever read, and the art's not necessarily the best you'll ever see.
Sounds like a hidden gem to me. Gonna have to check
Everything
it out.
sounds like a hidden gem to you. Spider-Man #1?
Listen, do a power bomb is not like that. Come on now. Come on. Cut me some slack.
Sorry.
That's my number five. Dave, what's your number five?
Okay, my #5 is another surprise for me. It's one I've already got, so I'm not interested in getting it, but not in this format. So I'm going to finish on Alan Moore, which is something that every cliche fanboy's ever wanted to do. It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Absolute Edition, massively oversized hardcover, as they normally are. It's the same page count as the Omnibus, which I do have. I was going to go grab it and I forgot because I'm a tit. It's the same page count, so it's 416 pages, which means it's likely to include, because it wasn't clear on the stuff I was looking at, the 1999 League of Extraordinary Gentlemen series, 1 to 6, the follow-up series in 2002, 6 issues as well, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Black Dossier. Boy
That thing
Alan
reads like
Moore.
that black dossier is just all text.
I can't remember. It's
There's a
been a
part
long
of that
time.
omnibus. There's a part of that omnibus where what's collected in it, what they include, the text of it, it's just prose with a couple of illustrations here or
I
there, but
think
a
you're right.
lot of prose.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's more intimidating than trying to read the Bible. It's like how much words are on this
Well,
page?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even. I mean, it's in there, but the first two
Is it
minis,
essential?
particularly now, the first two minis are great, and you get Kevin O'Neill's art. It's Kevin O'Neill, and it's from when he
I gotta
was
read it.
Alan Moore was doing ABC Comics, America's Best Comics, which is weird 'cause it's two British creators on the series.
Posers.
But the second series is, I thought it was so much better than the first series. So I think
Okay.
one of the things that some people have pointed out, not a lot of fanboys point this out, but you do get people that kind of go, you do realise that none of Alan Moore's creations are actually original, or very, very few. And again, with this,
No.
he's taken
He's the greatest of all
pre-existing
time.
literary characters and turned them into like an Avengers team. But it
Because you don't get
works.
it.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm Alan Moore. So yeah, with my hingy fingers.
Dave, do you got any left over that didn't make the cut or almost made the cut, but just decided against it
There are two things
last
I'll
minute?
mention. One was you were talking about Superman earlier, and there's a Superman Legacy box set. I don't have the thing to hand, but it looks like it includes All Star Superman, Kingdom Come.
All Star for all seasons. Batman oh yeah, Superman for all seasons. Whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Kingdom Come.
I was going to mention one other thing, and that's the Captain America by Mark Gruenwald Omnibus Volume 2. If you want to get Gruenwald at his best, Volumes 1 and 2 are the books to get.
The one thing I was about to list, which would have been pretty obvious, is Geiger Volume 3 by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank,
Good spot.
from the Ghost Machine brand. I haven't read it, but I'm going to read it and collect it in some format. So it's coming out June 17th, Volume 3. Be sure to visit us, omniversecomics.guide. Hit that rate and subscribe button on YouTube, on any podcast platform that you're listening to. We appreciate the support. Spread the word, omniversecomics.guide.
Yeah.
Dave, I bid you adieu.
I bid you adieu also, sir.